welcome friends and family to our presentation of Rosie the Riveter. I am so excited to have you here. So I know many of you have either participated in or seen a Radio Days production. Is anybody that never has seen Radio Days? Oh wow, okay. So generally what we do at Radio Days is we take radio productions from the 30s and 40s and then we recreate them live on stage and present them as 1-hour musicals in a manner so it feels as if they are in the studio at the time that they were originally presented. And the only time we do something a little bit different is with Rosie the Riveter. It's the only production that we've ever redone, and it is primarily because it is the one story that really touches that particular group of people, the greatest generation, the folks that were around during the 40s and 50s, many of whom were alive during World War II. And we don't run into too many folks that were actually in it anymore, but many people that were actually Sasha's age or a little bit younger, and they remember it. But the songs and the stories really resonate because their parents or their grandparents were there. So now this story, of course, is going to be a musical because all of our Radio Days shows are. And we always take music from that wonderful period, so I hope you like 40s music, because we sure do. And we do encourage you to sing right along with us. This story is based upon a true story, and it tells the story of one couple from Idaho who are surviving a very tumultuous time. We have a pilot in the Army and a young lady at home who is doing her very best to raise their teenage daughter and working in the factories as many, many women did during that time. So with that being said, I want to invite you to please keep hydrated and have as many treats as you like, and hope you enjoy our presentation of Rosie the Riveter.
During World War II, the fictional character of Rosie the Riveter was promoted as the ideal woman worker: loyal, efficient, patriotic, and pretty. A song, Rosie the Riveter, became very popular in 1942. Norman Rockwell's image on the cover of the Saturday Evening Post on May 29, 1943, was the first widely publicized pictorial representation of the new Rosie the Riveter. Rosie was an instant media success. In many other locations and situations around the country, Rosies were found and used in the propaganda effort that the government launched to lure women into working after the United States entered the war. Almost overnight, the war production increased, and auto factories were converted to build airplanes, shipyards were expanded, and new factories were built. And all of these facilities needed workers. The campaign focused on several themes, like, "It is your patriotic duty." Women workers are essential to the war effort. The war will end sooner if more women work, and unfortunately more soldiers will die if women don't work. You don't want to be seen as slackers who avoid work. That would equate to men who avoided the draft. Work will be glamorous. Since you aren't accustomed to working outside of the house, the campaign is showing women that working is the fashionable thing to do. And you needn't worry about your appearance, because you will still be seen as feminine even underneath all of that sweat and dirt. The workplace will be similar to housework. Some women think that working in a factory is dangerous or difficult, so the government suggests that you women already have all of the necessary skills to be hired because of all of the work you already do inside of the home. And lastly, your spouses will be proud of you. Some husbands don't like the idea of wives working, so the campaign is telling you that you should feel the same sense of pride as those whose brothers, sons, and husbands enlisted. After all, we are all working for the war effort. This is the story of George and June Albert, a married couple trying to cope with separation during the war. George is in the Army and June is home in Idaho, and they are about to embark on a new journey that includes hard work and sacrifice during one of the most difficult times in our nation's history. Married right out of high school, June has never worked outside of the family home. Her days were spent keeping house and tending to their teenage daughter, Peggy. But like other women all around the country, June learned a new trade as she did her part for the war effort and tried to keep the home fires burning as George fought for our freedom. Letters are a lifeline for them both.
August 30th, 1943. Hello, sweetheart. I know it's only been a short while since you left, but I miss you so much already. I've been trying to keep busy so that I don't worry so much. I had Cub and Helen over this week for a bridge game, and Helen made the most delicious cinnamon bread. Don't worry, I got the recipe so I can make it for you. We got to talking about the kids, and Cub told me that her son Bud has really stepped up since his dad got called back into the Army. He's only 14, but he takes his role as man of the house very seriously. Helen's older daughter Sarah is doing pretty well, but their younger daughter Sadie is having a really hard time. She misses her daddy something awful. Peg is fine. Don't worry too much about our little girl. She's been helping our neighbor, Mrs. Schulerman, pulling weeds and walking her dog, Millie. You know how Peggy loves her puppies. Well, my love, that's about all. Remember, I miss you, and I can't wait for your return. Till then, I will count my blessings, and you, my sweet husband, are right at the top of the list. Stay safe and write soon. All my love, June. When I'm worried and I can't sleep, I count my blessings instead of sheep, and I fall asleep counting my blessings. When my bankroll is getting small, I think of when I had none at all, and I fall asleep counting my blessings. I think of a nursery, and I picture curly heads, and one by one I count them as they slumber in their beds. If you're worried and you can't sleep, just count your blessings instead of sheep, and you fall asleep counting your blessings.
October 15th, 1943. Beautiful June. I can't tell you how much your letters mean to me. It can be so lonely here. I know that sounds a little funny because I have people around me all the time, but the fact is I don't have the one person I want most in the world. My lovely wife. We spend the better part of the day in training, and tomorrow it looks like we'll have more of the same. Well, they feed us pretty well, but I sure could use a taste of your delicious peach cobbler. You know, I would travel around the world for one of your tasty peach dumplings. But as hard as the days are, the nights are much worse. Well, there's nothing I would like more than to have you in my arms and cuddle you tight, my darling. When I can't sleep, I often find myself looking at the stars and dreaming that I'm with you. Well, till then, I'll reread your letters just so that I can picture you here with me and feel your love through the words that you write. Good night, my sweetheart. Love, your lonesome hubby, George.
November 1st, 1943. Hi, Dad. Just a quick note to let you know that I'm fine and Mom's okay too. We miss you an awful lot, though. We had a harvest celebration this weekend and a bunch of us kids traded sweets. Aunt Ruth made candied apples, Mom had popcorn balls, and Aunt Cub made gingerbread. There were other things too, but those are my favorites. Although, those little donuts Miss Schulerman made with a little ghost on them were pretty good too. School's okay. Same old reading, writing, and arithmetic. Of course, I still love my Laura Ingalls Wilder books the best. I'm reading the latest, Little Town on the Prairie. Laura always has the most amazing adventures. Well, that's about all for now. Stay safe and come home soon. Love you lots. Your favorite daughter, Peggy.
November 30th, 1943. Hello, honey. Well, there's certainly news from home now. Well, we had a town meeting last month, and a representative from Friedman and Black came to recruit women to work in the factory. So many men have enlisted that there just aren't enough employees, and they really need workers. Since Peg is old enough to stay at home by herself, I decided that I should at least go and talk with them. So I went over a couple of weeks ago, and just like that, I've got a job. I've been working at Friedman and Black for a couple of weeks now, and it's not easy, but I'm learning. I didn't know much about machines at all, but once they put me to work, I picked it up pretty quickly. So far, I've learned to make a small screwdriver from scratch. The blade, the shaft, and the handle, and then I put it all together. I've learned the operations of the machine by making the screwdriver. I never thought about how a screwdriver is made, but I can take you through it now, step by step. I've more or less picked up how to work a few other different machines in the factory, too. And tomorrow, I'll be working a lathe. Over the next few months, some of the other gals and I will be going to trade school so that we can learn to read blueprints and charts, how to read a micrometer, and how to operate a drill press. The steel we'll be working on will be used to build planes. Oh, George, my head is spinning from all this input. But I knew you'd be proud of me once I started talking about my new skills. On the job, I wear these bib overalls, and in the machine shops, I wear denim for aprons to absorb all the oil and grease, and when I wipe my hands, it doesn't dirty my clothes. It sure is different from the clothes I wear to clean the house. The floor is usually pretty oily, so I just wear some old boots so that I don't ruin my good ones. Well, honey, I'm just plumb worn out, so I'll say goodnight to you. I love you, and I miss you more than I can say. Here are a million hugs and kisses for you. Love, your tired wife, June.
December 21st, 1943. My beautiful June. I can't believe you've learned so much so fast. But then I shouldn't be surprised. You've always been the smartest person I know. Back when we were in school, I remember Mrs. Kearney said you were one of the brightest students that she'd ever had. And who knows, maybe one of those planes you're working on will find its way into my unit. Even so, I wish I was home so you wouldn't have to work so hard. How many hours are you working each day? As for me, I'm training recruits from sunup to sundown. It seems like there are more men arriving almost daily. But we keep pretty busy so that we'll be ready to go when the time comes. It's almost Christmas, my honey bun. And you know I'd love to be right beside you to celebrate and give you the moon. Well, no perfume could smell as sweet as you, and of course, there is no gem to compare with your beautiful face, but I would try my best to find you something lovely, just so I could see you smile. Well, please give my love to Peg and let her know that her old dad is doing fine and misses her like the dickens. And I sure wish I could be home with my girls for Christmas. But just know that you are in my heart and my thoughts every day. All my love, George. I'll be home for Christmas. You can count on me. Please have snow and mistletoe and presents on the tree. Christmas Eve will find me where the love light gleams. I'll be home for Christmas, if only in my dreams. Christmas Eve will find me where the love light gleams. I'll be home for Christmas, if only in my dreams.
January 28th, 1944. Hi, Dad. Oh my, things sure have changed around here. Mom got a job. It's been really different, but I understand how important it is. Mom says that she's learning how to make planes. She's really tired when she comes home, so I've been making dinner for her when she gets in so she doesn't have to cook so much. I made spaghetti last night. Mom said it was pretty good. I'm back at school since the Christmas break. I still like choir the best, but I'm doing okay in English and history. But I really do not like math. All those numbers just don't make any sense at all. But I'll keep trying, because as you always say, if at first you don't succeed, try again. That's about all, Dad. Love you lots. Stay safe and come home soon. Your favorite daughter, Peggy.
February 3rd, 1944. Hello, darling. Oh, I can't tell you how much I look forward to checking the mail each day, hoping to get a letter from you. Oh, I miss you so much. I'm still keeping busy at Friedman and Black. I usually work 8 to 10 hours a day, and right now I'm making 64 cents per hour. But I'm due for an upgrade soon. I've been working for several months now. Well, I hope to be making 75 cents per hour in the next month or so. At the factory, there's no such thing as leaving at 5 o'clock if there's still work to do. I've stayed many a night until 6 o'clock or 2 o'clock on a Saturday because the work has to be done. We're used to the long hours, though. Sometimes I work 2 nights a week until 10 o'clock and every other weekend. And if I didn't work the full weekend, I'd work Saturday one week and Sunday another. So you can't really call it a 5-day work week. Oh, it isn't easy, and I'm saving all I can. But it's worth it, because I know that what we're doing at home helps all of you overseas and will bring you safely home to me. Peggy has been a really big help. She's been making dinner for us, and she keeps mine in the oven if I come home late. She made pasta the other night, and it was pretty good. Mrs. Schulerman stays with her some evenings so she doesn't get too lonely waiting for me to get home. George, you'd be so proud of her. She is such a good girl. I had a nice visit with your sister Ruth earlier this week. She brought over a scrapbook full of old photos. She couldn't wait to show me all these pictures she found of you from high school. My favorite was one of you from your football days. Oh, George, how handsome you looked in your uniform. Well, the first time I saw you on the field, I knew I was a goner. And to see you play, you sure knew how to carry the ball. Well, I would sit in the stands with Cub and I'd cheer as loud as I could. I was hoping that you might hear and look up in the stands and see just me through all of those rooting fans. I remember the first time you asked me out for a soda. I couldn't believe it. Well, I thought for sure you were smitten with Nellie Hoofman. But sitting there with you and Sully sipping an ice cream soda is a memory I'll keep with me forever. You told me that you knew Nellie was sweet on you, but that one look at me and my pretty pink sweater, and you only had eyes for me. Oh, you say the sweetest things. And you walked me home, and we could see Papa standing just inside the door. So you kissed my hand, and you smiled, and you waved at Papa. Oh, my heart was pounding so fast, I couldn't wait to see you again. When you acted like you didn't even mind how gruff and grumbly Papa was at first, I was so worried. But I needn't have been, 'cause you sure won him over. Oh, my love, just writing to you now brings a smile to my face. You remember how you proposed to me on Christmas Eve? We'd gone ice skating and I fell down right in front of that snooty Melba Baker. Well, there she was, just laughing up a storm. And then you bent down and you pulled that lovely ring from your coat pocket and asked me to marry you. Well, the look on Melba's face was priceless. And I was over the moon. Did I ever tell you I started thinking about baby names that first night? Well, here we are years later, and you still look as handsome as ever, though you've traded your football uniform for an army uniform. And I couldn't be more proud of you. Well, I'd better sign off for now. Peg and I'll have a quick supper, and then we'll turn in. I have another busy day tomorrow. I plan to read your letters before bed so that you'll be sure to be in my dreams. Remember, I miss you more than I can say, and I can't wait to be in your arms. Sweet dreams, my love. Forever yours, June. Stars shining bright above you. Night breezes seem to whisper, I love you. Birds singing in the sycamore trees. Dream a little dream of me. Say nighty-night and kiss me. Just hold me tight and tell me you miss me. While I'm alone and blue as can be, dream a little dream of me. Stars fading, but I linger on, dear. Still craving your kiss. I'm longing to linger till dawn, dear. Just saying this. Sweet dreams till sunbeams find you. Sweet dreams that leave your worries behind you. But in your dreams, whatever they be, dream a little dream of me.
March 30th, 1944. Hello, darling. Well, here I am, colder than the dickens. We're in the middle of a snowstorm. Well, everything is fine, so please don't worry. This trip will be shorter than I thought, so I'll probably be back and able to write you as soon as we get back, so before you even have a chance to miss me. You be a good gal and take care of yourself. I will write a letter from our next stop, so please excuse this short note as, well, they have all the lights out except for this one, and, well, we are not privileged characters. I love you and miss you. George.
April 1st, 1944. Hi, Dad. Boy, it sure has been different around here since you've been gone. It's April Fool's Day, and here I was thinking that maybe all this awfulness was somebody's idea of a horrible joke. But of course it's not. I sure miss you, Dad. Miss Schillerman next door is teaching me how to knit. I'm trying to make a scarf for Mom. Her birthday is coming up soon. If it turns out all right, maybe I'll make some socks for you. School's okay. I get to sing a solo at our next choir concert. I'm looking forward to that. But I sure wish you were here to see it. You were the one who taught me how to sing, after all. Well, that's about all for now. I was just thinking about how you used to sing me a song before bedtime. You remember my favorite? You'd sing it, then kiss me 3 times, once on my forehead and then 1 on each cheek. You know, my friends would say I'm too old to have my dad tuck me into bed, but I sure miss it. Lots of love from your favorite daughter, Peggy.
Never thought that you would be standing here so close to me. There's so much I feel that I should say, but words can wait till some other day. Kiss me once, then kiss me twice, then kiss me once again. It's been a long, long time. Haven't felt like this, my dear, since can't remember when. It's been a long, long time. You'll never know how many dreams I dreamed about you, and just how empty they all seem without you. So kiss me once, then kiss me twice, then kiss me once again. It's been a long, long time. Night, Dad.
May 14th, 1944. Hello, my darling. Well, here it is, another blue Sunday, and more than a month since I've had a line from you. Gee, am I ever blue and discouraged right now? Oh, honey, I miss you so. Do you have enough money to get along on? Please let me know. I'm so worried about you. I'm trying to save all I can, but it's sure hard to do. Tomorrow is Grandpa's birthday. Peg and I are going over in the morning, but I don't know what to take him. He feels pretty good now, and he's looking forward to seeing the family. Did you get the photograph I sent? Sorry, it wasn't better. Honey, if you have the money, I have the telephone number of the people I ride to work with. I know they'll call me to the phone. Well, darling, I have to go to bed now. I wish I could snuggle up with you, but I'll be seeing you in my dreams. I pray that God will watch over you and bring you home safe to me soon. Good night. Love, your lonely wife, June. Oh, P.S. Here are 1,000,001 kisses just for you.
August 23rd, 1944. Hello, my darling. Well, here it is, another lonely day here without you. Your pictures and stories of home mean so much to me, and you look so beautiful with your long, wavy hair, brushing the tips of your shoulders, and wearing that cute little dress that you picked out at Halliday's dress shop last spring. But you could be wearing rags and an old apron and you'd still be beautiful to me. Well, I carry your picture with me everywhere that I go, and I smile every time that I look at you. Please keep me posted on Mom, Grandpa, Cub, and Ruth. Oh, and tell Peggy that I got her letter, and I'm just so tickled that she got to sing a solo in the choir. I can't wait to hear it in person when I get home. It's going to be a little while before I can write again. We'll be heading out soon. I'm set to do more flying than I've ever done before. And I'm really excited, but I'd be lying if I didn't say that I'm a little bit scared too. Pray for me, my darling. Knowing that you're there thinking of me gives me both strength and courage. I so wish I was home with you, but I know that this is where I need to be right now. You are in my thoughts every moment, and you are always in my heart. I love you so very much. Your husband, George. You are always in my heart, even though we're far away. I can hear the music of the song of love I sang with you. You are always in my heart, and when skies above are gray, I remember that you care, and then and there the sun breaks through. Just before I go to sleep, there's a rendezvous I keep, and a dream I always meet helps me forget we're far apart. I don't know exactly when, dear, but I'm sure we'll meet again, dear. And my darling, till we do, you are always in my heart.
October 20th, 1944. Hello, my sweetheart. Peg and I are about to have dinner with Mom. I received the compact you sent me. It's lovely, just what I wanted. Thanks a million. You are so darn good to me. I don't know how, but I'll repay you some way. But for now, I'll just say the same old story. I love you, and I miss you, dear, so very much. At night, we've been listening to the radio news on the war. Last evening, I heard about the U.S. forces landing in the Philippines. It's so frightening to hear about those things actually happening. It seems so far away, but it isn't. Not really. We've been scrimping and saving as much as we can. There are shortages on so many things. We've been eating a lot of fish, eggs, and Spam. I got a lot of good recipes for stew and soup that have Spam in it, but sometimes I'd really just like to have a good roast chicken. Peg said she'd do cartwheels all down the street if we just never had Spam. We had dinner over at Cobb's a while ago, and we had a beef roast. Oh, it was so good. I will admit, I had seconds. Our neighbor, Mrs. Lloyd, makes the most wonderful bread, and she shares with us every now and again. And when I make stew, I try to make extra cornbread to share too. Mrs. Lloyd tells me that I make the best cornbread she's ever tasted, but I know she's just being nice. Peggy, however, has learned how to make pancakes with apples. So every now and again, we have breakfast for dinner. Sometimes, on the weekends, Peg and her friends make lunches for soldiers getting on the train. I think it lifts their spirits some just having a little bit of home with them on the trip, even if it's just some sandwiches and cookies. And I'm sure it doesn't hurt that a pretty girl is waving to them as they pull out. Gasoline has been rationed. You remember Margaret and Elmer? Well, they've taken the tires off their car and they put it up on a stand so they won't use it. Well, I've been riding to work with a group of gals on really cold days, and when it's warmer, we take the bus. Everywhere else I walk. I can save 7 cents when I walk instead of riding the bus. And lately, the money I save has been going towards buying war stamps. And if I get a booklet filled, I can get a war bond, so that when you get home, maybe we can use them to get an addition on the house. Well, I'd love to have a sewing and craft room, or maybe we can build you a shop. Oh, and you remember Bill Robeson? I think he was an old school chum of yours. Well, he was in town the other day visiting his family, and we ran into each other at Sully's. We had a soda together, and he told me he wasn't admitted into the draft because of his bum knee. Well, anyway, he's selling insurance, and it was really nice to catch up with him. Well, that's about all that's going on right now. I'd better scoot along. Oh, we plan on going down to visit with your folks this Sunday. We got your mother a beautiful birthday card. The verse is so pretty. Your mama and I, we sometimes just sit and we talk and reminisce. Our first date, our wedding day, when our little sweet girl was born. So many wonderful memories. And yet I can't wait until you get home so we can make more. All my love, every day of my life. June. Thanks for the memories, for sentimental verse, nothing in my purse, for chuckles when the preacher said for better or for worse, how lovely it was. Thanks for the memories, for cushions on the floor, hash with Dinty Moore, that pair of gray pajamas that we bought and never wore, how lovely it was. We said goodbye when they called you, and I worry so much 'cause I love you. But we are diligent people, no tears, no fuss, hooray for us. So thanks for the memory, and strictly entre nous, darling, how are you? And how about those little dreams we're waiting to come true? Awfully glad I married you, cheerio and toodaloo. I miss you, and thank you so much.
October 20th, 1944. Dad! I'm so excited. Pete Fellows asked me to the homecoming dance. I was at lunch at school, and Jill passed a note that Jean gave to her to give to me. And on the note it said, "Will you go to the dance with me?" From Pete! I looked up and saw him in the doorway. I shook my head yes and gave him a big smile, and then he walked out. I've got to get busy making my dress right away. Should I go with pink? No. Wait. The dance is in November, so I should go with a darker color. How about green or maybe gold? Ah! I don't know. I'll ask Aunt Ruth. She sews the most amazing clothes. I'm sure she can help. It's my first date, Dad. Oh, I wish you could be here to see me. You'd probably read him the riot act, but don't worry. He's really nice. Come home soon. Lots of love from your favorite. Okay, your only, but still your favorite daughter, Peg.
December 26th, 1944. Hello, honey. Well, here it is, the end of one year and almost the beginning of a new year. Let's both hope that it'll be a happier one. I just received your letter, honey, and please tell Peg I got hers too. As you know, your letters mean so much to me. We're not doing much lately. We drill for an hour or so in the morning, and then we're off the rest of the day or night. We're living like gentlemen down here, but it sure is tiresome. Tonight should be an occasion for celebration, but I don't really feel like it because my girls are not here. There's a church right near us, and they're having a little get-together, so that's where I've been. It's free, and I have exactly 15 cents left. It's been a little while since I've ever been this broke. Tomorrow is payday. Well, I'm glad that you're helping out back at home, and it sure is nice of Peggy and the girls to make sandwiches and lunches for the soldiers getting on the train, but you just make sure that none of those fellas get any ideas about our little girl. Well, thanks for the pictures you sent, honey. How about sending another? It's a little after 10, so I'll be ringing the new year in, dreaming of you. If you had a phone at home, I would surely have called you. It would be wonderful to talk to you. I heard a rumor that we'll be leaving soon, so you be a good soldier, honey, and take good care of yourself. It's bedtime, so I'll say goodnight. Happy New Year. I love you with all my heart. Here's a billion, trillion hugs and kisses. Your lonesome hubby, George. P.S. What about this Pete Fellows? You be sure to tell him all the rules about dating my little girl. P.P.S. If you run into that no-good Bill Robeson again, you let him know that I'll be coming after him if he tries to make a move on my honey bun. Do you remember the song I used to sing to you? Be thinking of that the next time you have a soda at Sully's. Don't sit under the apple tree with anyone else but me. Anyone else but me. Anyone else but me. No, no, no. Don't sit under the apple tree with anyone else but me till I come marching home. Don't go walking down Lover's Lane with anyone else but me. Anyone else but me. Anyone else but me. No, no, no. Don't go walking down Lover's Lane with anyone else but me till I come marching home. I just got word from a guy who heard from a guy next door to me. A girl he met just loves to pet and it fits you to a T. So don't sit under the apple tree with anyone else but me till I come marching home.
April 14th, 1945. My sweetheart. It just seems so very long since you've held me in your arms. I miss you so much. I'm working really hard over at the factory. Lately it's been 6 or 7 days a week. Some nights I feel like my feet are giving off steam. When I get home, I just want to go to bed and dream of you. I've learned so much these last couple of years. I started with making screwdrivers, and now I'm working the drill press, welding pipes, inspecting, riveting, you name it, I've been doing it. Some days we'll take these huge sheets of metal on the folding machine to shape them into rectangular ducts, and then bucking rivets to hold the seam together. Each sheet of metal has one edge folded over about an inch that overlaps the other sheet edge, and then we drill the holes at intervals. I've also had to crawl inside the duct with a supply of these soft rivets and push them through the holes, and then hold a bucking bar against them while someone else flattens the ends with a hammer. It helps to have someone a little smaller to crawl through the ducts. I imagine it would be a lot more difficult for the men to do it. When we were in school, I sure never imagined myself doing this. But I know it's important. We've got to do our part here so that you and so many others can come home. Well, I've been getting regular pay upgrades. I'm earning $1.02 per hour now. My supervisor has told me I'm doing well, but I know there's still lots of things to learn. Some days are better than others, and it's the same all around. My girlfriends and I, we talk about our work on the way home, and we share stories of how we're doing, and it's not easy. But we know it will be over soon. It has to be. I cling to that thought every day. That soon this terrible war will be over and you can come home to me. I love you. I love you so much. Please keep yourself safe. I pray for you every day. Here are a billion, trillion hugs and kisses for you. Your tired wife, June. P.S. Don't you worry a thing about that old Bill Robeson. I only have eyes for you, my love. You're my world.
July 14th, 1945. My dear. Well, your globe-trotting beau is finally coming home. Oh, gee, how I've missed you, honey. When I was in faraway places, I used to pass the time away just sitting and thinking of you. I'm all tired out and nervous as a kitten. Flying is an awful strain, and I felt as though I were tied in a knot these last few days, and, well, that knot finally broke when we landed on U.S. soil again. I was shaken like a leaf, so please excuse my scrawl, honey. I received all your letters and the pictures. They were just what I wanted. I think I've read your letters 1,000,000 times. I'm so looking forward to coming home. Just think, honey, I've flown all the way across the ocean twice. I've been all over the world, almost all the way around, and I've been flying 8 to 12 hours a day since I left here for 30 days. My fanny's still a little sore from bouncing up and down on that seat. But I'm so thankful to be back in the USA that I feel like shouting at the top of my voice. I was pretty sick overseas, and for a while I didn't think I was going to make it. I got some kind of dysentery from the drinking water, but I told you that I'd make it back to you even if I had to swim to you. There's so much destruction over there, honey. I've seen some terrible things, poverty, pain, and heartbreak, and, well, it just makes me so grateful to be living in the land of the free. So you keep those home fires burning. I wanted to be sure to tell you how proud I am of all the work you're doing over at Friedman and Black. You keep going the way that you are, and you'll be running the joint. Well, don't worry about me, honey. It may take a month or so for me to get home, but I'll be there soon. Knowing that you're there waiting for me keeps me going every day. Well, I have to get to headquarters to make some arrangements. You be a good soldier, honey, and remember, I love you. Your tired, homesick hubby, George.
Won't you come home, Bill Bailey? Won't you come home? She cried the whole night.
September 1st, 1945. My dearest George. Oh, I just can't wait to see your handsome face walk through our front door. It's been so hard to be away from you. I've missed you so much. Well, I never dreamed that I'd be working like I have at Friedman and Black. I was always content to be home and care for you and Peg. But my eyes have sure been opened to how hard it is to work in the factories. But I've also been feeling grateful. So many men and women working tirelessly, whether it's overseas fighting for our freedoms or here at home, in stores, schools, offices, farms, just all over. Everyone is working together for the safety of our country. It makes me feel so proud to be an American. We're all in this together. We're never alone. And your family is here for you, my love. We are waiting for you with open arms. And until we can hold you close, just remember that we are always with you. All my love, June. When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the storm is a golden sky and the sweet silver song of our heart. Hold on to the wind, hold on to the ring, though your dreams be tossed and blown.
storm. Hold your head up high and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of a storm is a golden sky and the sweet silver song of the lark. Hold on to the wind, hold on to the rain, though your dreams be tossed and blown. Hold on, with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk
Thank you so much for joining me, my friends. It has been an absolute delight and pleasure to share this story with you. I would like to introduce my handsome soldier. This is Joseph Stevenson. And this is my lovely peg here, Sasha Falcone. And I am Jody Falcone. I told you in the beginning that this is based upon a true story, and it is. And I'm very pleased to tell you, those of you that don't know, that this story is based upon my grandparents. And these letters were actually written to each other during the war. And I had the great pleasure of receiving my grandmother's hope chest when she passed away in 2002. And inside were these beautiful, beautiful letters. And I decided to pay tribute to them by sharing this wonderful, wonderful story. This is a picture of George. This is George Albert Wickstrom, and he was a pilot in the Army. And this lovely lady is June Marie Wickstrom. And she was a Rosie for actually many, many years. She worked at Lockheed in California. And she built planes as well as probably screwdrivers and everything else under the sun. She worked there for many years. And I'm so glad that we could share it with you. It's been a tumultuous year. You know, we didn't get to do radio days for so long inside the senior living places where we normally go. And it didn't give you, our friends and family, the opportunity to see it. This is the first show that we've been able to bring back to them on a very regulated basis, for sure. But it's still been an absolute blessing to commemorate Armed Forces Day and Memorial Day and Flag Day and the 4th of July with this wonderful story. So thank you, my friends, for being out in this hot, hot weather and sharing this story with us. So thank you.